How's it going, Plant Heroes? Plant Hero Call here today with a little walkthrough of one of our plantscapes. This is up in San Rafael, California. This is called One Thorndale Center, and this is a big open atrium you can see to the right here. It's 3 floors tall, and actually I'll point it out in a second, the entire roof opens to the building. There's a couple different tenants in here, but they all share this lovely open space down here. So we're gonna show you some of these big plants and you know, what's worked and maybe what hasn't. If any of this helps you, drop some fertilizer on that like button. And if you enjoy my channel and the content, subscribe and click the bell to be notified of future plant fun. But definitely drop some comments if you have any thoughts on how any of this is looking. That will enter you in our giveaway. And yeah, let's explore. So first, let's go all the way up to the 3rd floor. Get you a better view of what we're working with here. There's 3 Kentia palms that kind of drape over the edges. There's another one over there and another one over here. And the fronds kind of, you can see them from the ground floor. And then on the roof, I guess you could say, is this whole panel that actually opens up. It lets direct sun in, which is something that is nice for the people down here, but some of these plants are getting a little tired being in the direct sun. You can see some of the birds of paradise down here are looking a little worse for the wear, but other things like this fiddle that I'll show you in a minute, or there's a Ficus Benjamina over here. They love it. So, you know, the direct sun is good if the plants can handle it. It's that Kentia I was talking about. It's kind of simple up here, but you know, all you need is a couple plants here and there, and then I'll show you right here actually. These are actually fake plants. We used to have real ones in here, but the irrigation system wasn't working, and then the tenant decided, oh, let's just pop some fake ones in. And then if you look behind me, this is kind of the creepy floor because the building is not all the way full yet. You're looking at a totally vacant space behind me, but you know, maybe someday, post-COVID. Another Kentia palm with a frond beautifully hanging down. Saying hello to everything below. Okay, let's go back down. I want to show you the middle area. This is kind of the entry. There's 2 nice ZZ plants here. Zanzibar gem. There's one. And here's another one. And then along the elevators, got 2 snake plants. These are nice because they stay pretty well upright. They don't spread too much so that they don't knock into people when they're coming out of the elevator. And then if you continue on this way, there's, you know, interspersed throughout this whole 2nd floor, there's a couple Ags, Chinese evergreen, that are in their own mini little rectangles. Problem is, these ones here are the ones that get hit by that direct sun I was talking about, and they get blasted, and Chinese evergreens do not want that much sun, so it's definitely stressing them out. We kind of have to water a little more than we would like to, and you know, their coloration is just, it's a little bleached. I would like to see them a little darker than they are, but they're hanging in there. And you can also see some of the fake plants in here also are getting a little bleached. you know, it's just direct sun is tough on pretty much anything, unless it's meant to be outside. And then continuing on to full on downstairs, we got a couple big fishtails. They even put some light posts in to kind of make it almost feel like you're in an outdoor park area. Definitely some interesting design choices, but the plants are what we're really here for. So I want to get down there so I can show you these planters that are on the other side right here. That one right in the middle. They're pretty cool. So let's keep moving. These snakes were probably the plants that did the best, by the way, in the super bright conditions. There's another one right here. And, you know, these are just 6-inch snakes that grew super tall. They're probably, you know, as tall as I would expect a 10-inch to go. But they're in this skinny container. So that's how you know I'm not fibbing to you. But coming back around this way, beautiful fishtail, super happy here. And the star of the show, a Ficus Benjamina that has a twisting trunk and is probably, I would say, almost 30 feet tall. So now's when we talk about the birds of paradise, because it's tough love. They're beautiful, but don't expect them to ever be super tame. And sadly, when they get super out of hand, we've had to cut some of their lower leaves off, so they're not, you know, the most beautiful down here. But if you turn your attention to the upper leaves, we're in a tropical canopy. So, you know, I'll show you some of the other ones. Similar thing. They actually had these up in the entry area originally, but they were just taking over. I mean, they want to be in the wild and in Hawaii, you know, out growing in the jungle somewhere, not inside. But you know, they're still fine plants. This one's actually trying very hard. It's got some new leaves coming out. A little tip for anyone that has birds of paradise at home: if it is not opening up, you can almost see right here, this looks super tight, you might have to free it. So you kind of just run your nail through this little seam and you unfurl the leaf for it, because naturally what happens is, you know, wind and rain and everything in the jungle would open these leaves more naturally, but they can kind of get stuck and then they grow all deformed. So definitely a pro tip for you. Got a nice fiddle. It's doing great up at the top, but you can see some of these lower leaves are a little yellowish, almost bleached looking. This is because it gets direct sun when that roof I was talking about gets opened. So it's not happy, but recently we moved it under the main staircase here, and all the new leaves that's put out since then seem to be looking a lot better. This is more what we want to see from it. But you know, sadly you can never make these leaves look brand new again. Got another fishtail here and some more snakes. And then these are the kind of cool planters. It's like the forest floor, all in a planter. We've got some bromeliads, some Hoya. They could use a little bit of replanting, but you know, we're going for that wild look. And I believe this is called a kangaroo fern in here. These are one of my favorites because they have kind of a blue tint to them. And that thing seems to be doing really well. And then if you follow this moss wall that got destroyed because of the direct sun, we make it over to the other planter. Which is right here. Another bromeliad kind of mix. Oh my gosh. This kangaroo fern is doing amazing. Oh, I love it. Yeah, everything needs a little cleanup, but that's what I'm here for. It is service day today, so I'm gonna be doing what I can to make them all beautiful. Maybe I'll bring you around with me for a couple little watering or cleaning tips. Okay, so I know I wanted to show you some detailing tips. I'm gonna have to focus on my actual job today, sadly, but maybe in the future we can go over some of these tips for you. But speaking of tips, this is part of the reason I can't show you is if you look at this ag, it has just, it's got tips all over it. So you can see here, I was showing you earlier, but you really get a better idea. You know, so basically I'm gonna spend probably 5 minutes on each one of these rectangles of ags. It's fine, it's just what it needs, but because of the condition that it's in this super bright spot, we've had to give it extra water, more water than we would want to during the summer when it might get, you know, splashed with direct sun for a couple hours at a time. So that is what's caused the tipping. You know, the plant is fine, but it's not in its best shape. So I'm gonna do some work. We're gonna catch you on the next video. If you liked any of this space or, you know, just wanna help us out, help us grow, drop some fertilizer on that like button, comment to enter the giveaway I was talking about, check it out in a previous video, and subscribe to become a plant hero too. All right, see ya. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. Gonna go crazy by having to cut all these tips and damage the plant. Gonna hate doing it, but you got to make it look beautiful.